for the most part, things have just been super supportive and just so all love, just love and support from every
Yeah.
corner.
Well, and you said it's funny. You laugh at like the trolls. Like you don't, I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it gets you a little bit, but I heard you like joking about how somebody called you guys chickleback or something. And
Yeah. Yeah. Chickleback. That was okay. So that was
you don't sound anything like Nickelback, but it's a funny name, but it's not very accurate, I guess.
it was hilarious. I mean that's our group. We made that our group chat name. So it's the four of us. The four of us made that our group chat name. So it's Chickleback. And it's hilarious. We saw that on. You know what it was? It was Blabbermouth. That's what makes it even more funny. Is because we were sitting there. We were like, I swear to God, Blabbermouth must hire people to just say ridiculous, hilarious things because we're just like, no, who said somebody was like, oh, great, Plush, more like Flush. And it's like, we hadn't even come out with a song yet. And so I'm like, no, you guys are just saying this crap to stir stuff up. But it was just hilarious because it just was even funnier that it came from Blabbermouth because Blabbermouth by far is like the angriest comment section. But it's also the funniest because people just say ridiculous things like Chickleback.
Yeah, no,
So
that is funny. That's funny. A lot of the
really funny.
comments on, yeah, I'll have to read more on Blabbermouth, but like
Yeah.
even on like TikTok and YouTube, sometimes the comments are funnier than the actual video.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's my first thing that I do always is like if I'm watching a YouTube video, I'm watching it, but I'm also reading the comments as I watch it because it's hilarious and it's so entertaining. And some of the arguments that people get in the comments too are so funny because it's like, are you really arguing about this right now?
Right.
And we also had someone said, "Oh, great, Greta Van Teet." someone commented that on Blabbermouth as well.
That's pretty funny.
And we thought that was hilarious.
Because I don't think they hire people. I think it's just that people will make comments and then the funniest stuff or the most outrageous thing will get the algorithm will push it to the top because the most people like that comment or whatever. And at least I know that's how it works on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And it's funny, but it's some of the stuff that people say is so ridiculous sometimes that you're like, this can't be a real person. Like this can't be,
right.
You know what I mean? So it's
the fact
so
that
funny.
Sometimes people get so angry and it's like,
yeah,
why do you care so much? Why do you take the time to make this angry comment? It's more like you're like worried about that person that made the comment more than you are.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
exactly. People will find any reason now to just, be negative. People just nitpick. They just do. People nitpick. Nothing is ever good enough for everyone. And that's just a fact it's just a simple fact of not even just being, in a band or being an artist on social media. That's just a simple fact of having social media accounts. Like people are just going to be rude sometimes. And that's how it is. And sometimes it's funny how rude people are. So.
To me, it seems like it's the people that are like really unhappy in their lives that take the time to comment and nitpick, like you said, or say something negative that's just mean, that's not even funny, that's just like nasty. And you're like, why would you take the time to make that comment publicly? It's like usually I think it's like something wrong with their own life. That's my theory.
Yeah, 100%. That exactly. It says so much more about. I know that this is like a cliche, but it's because it's true. And it says so much more, I think, about that person, 100% than it ever says about whoever they're commenting about. Because it's when you must be in a low spot to actually get some sort of satisfaction from hurting somebody or at least attempting to hurt somebody else. That is like, and yeah, it sucks when we first launched everything with Plush and whatever, some of the things that people say, especially as women, some of the things that people say are really discouraging. And sometimes it's just straight up depressing. It really is. But after a while, you get used to it and then it's like, oh, and then you don't even notice it. I personally don't really read comments anymore because it was starting to really get at me because it's like, you don't, like you were saying, you look at these people and you're like, why would you say something like that? It's one of those things where it's disturbing to me. It was so disturbing to me to try and figure out, this person sat there, typed this message, and had a moment to realize there is a person on the other side of this screen who's going to see this about themselves. You don't know what they struggle with mentally. You don't know what they've gone through in their life. You don't know what you could say that could trigger them. You don't know what you're saying about their body that could make, like, you don't know. And you still sat there and were like, I'm going to say this just because it gives me satisfaction to make them feel like shit about themselves. That always really bothered me about that. It's not necessarily even what they say. It's just the disregard for another human being that really disturbs me with stuff
Wow.
like that.
That's well said. That's some wisdom for somebody so young. That's amazing that you're able to figure that out so young.